Yeah, it was good, y'all. So I saw a post the other day, and it had three options on there. It was option A, have a 850 credit score. Option B, have $2 million. Or option C, get $4,000 a year for the rest of your life. So I'm gonna break this down for y'all and kind of give y'all the best. What is probably the best option? So clearly, option A is the worst option, and I wouldn't recommend. I don't understand why anybody would pick option A. That's the first thing. Option B to me is the best option, and most likely it is the best option financially if you want to invest your money. Maybe start a business. If you into doing anything to build wealth, option B is the best option. If you plan on just blowing your money, not really saving it, not really investing it, and just kind of spending it every week, and just kind of going through the weekly income that you getting, then option C is the best option because you don't have to work. You can keep bringing in money. You can kind of live however you want. Because after doing the numbers, you be making about $200,000 a year. So $200,000 a year doing nothing. Option B is probably the best option. And so you gotta think about that also. If you pick option B, you will make 200,000 about $200,000 a year. That is only if you're not spending none of your money. That's the first thing. And it would take you about 10 years to make that $2 million that you could have just had up front. So you got to think about that too. Now, if you factor in that you probably going to be spending some of the money and stuff like that, it might take you about 15, 20 years to make that $2 million you could have had up front. You got to think about all that stuff too. But if you just going to be tricking off the money, blowing it every week, kind of just going through it, then you really ain't going to have no money in general. This is just if saving some of it or half of it. But at that point, if you plan on saving some of it, to kind of get to where you could be at overall, because a lot of people I know going to argue, well, if you making $4,000 a week, over time, you're going to make more than the $2 million. Yes, if we just looking at face value, if you're not doing nothing at all, like I said, option C is clearly the best option. If we just talking about straight up which one is gonna make you the most money without doing nothing at all, C is definitely the best option. But if you plan on investing or trying to build your wealth, B is hands down the best option. Why? Because let's say you just take half a million of the 2 million, just half a million, and you keep it, to spend for bills, expenses. You might want to put down payment on the house or even buy out a house. Fine, so be it. You got $500,000 to do that. Now let's say you take the 1.5 million and you throw that into, let's just say to be conservative, throw it into an investment account. And on average, an investment account makes, if you throw it into like an ETF or something like that, they make about a 10% return. So after 10 years of putting that $2 million, 1.5 million, I'm sorry, 1.5 million into an investment account, you'll have about close to you. It'll be basically that 1.5 will turn to about $4 million after 10 years. If you keep it in there for 20 years, it'll turn into about $10 million. And then if you keep it in there for 30 years, it'll turn to about $25 million. It's just, if you make about 10% return, granted, you can make a lot more than 10%, or you can make a little less than 10%. I'm just giving you rough estimates on, what you could be making just by putting that 1.5 of it, not the whole 2 million, just 1.5 of that into an investment account, and you don't touch the money. So over 10 years, you'll make like it'll be worth $25 million. After 30 years, it'll be worth $25 million. After 10 years, it'll be worth $4 million, which is double the money. And like I said, the other account would only be worth $2 million at that point. So you got to think about that. And that's only if you didn't spend none of the money. So after 10 years, it'll be worth about 10 million. After 20 years, it'll be worth 10 million. And for the other, it'll only be worth like 4 million. And that's only if you didn't spend money. So that's why B is the best option, because you'll make the most on your returns by investing in B, because you can use it for leverage for investing, or we didn't even get into like if you used it to buy like a rental property or something, you're going to get way more returns on that. So we just talking about if you just threw it into an ETF or something conservative and just let it grow for the next um 10 to 20 years or however long until you die. 40 years, whatever. So the more you let it grow, that's what I'm saying. So if you let it grow for 40 years, I'll run those numbers for you right now real quick. Matter of fact, let's see. 10 years. For 10 years, we're going to do the 2.5. Calculate. I don't know. I can't. And if you let it sit for 40 years, if you let the 1.5 sit for 40 years, don't touch it, you'll have over $60 million. Just from being, this not even putting no extra money in. This is just how much it will grow over the course of 40 years. Just from like conservatively, just saying it grows at like a 10% rate, which usually the stock market does do for ETFs. ETFs usually grow at about a 10% rate. So just being conservative, saying about 10%, some years be better, worse, whatever, but about 10% growth, you'll have $60 million after 40 years. So just think about that. And then you could even put more money in there from that $500,000. I'm just saying if you used $500,000. So if you used the whole $2 million, it would be even more money. If I threw that in there, like I could do that too, run the numbers for that. $2 million over 40 years. That would be, let's see. You have $90 million. But you're gonna spend some of the money. It ain't like you just gonna stash it all. But you should save as much as you can. But I just wanted to run that down for y'all, just give y'all some perspective. Don't always just think, oh, because I'm getting this much a month, this is more valuable or this worth more. It's like, no, because if you invest in, or if you want to try to start a business, or you want to grow your money, or you want to build wealth, you're not about to really build wealth making $4,000 a week. Yeah, that's a lot of money. But, to me, like, wealthy is, being able to take care of your kids' and, future generations. If you made $200,000 a year, but you're not spending your money right, you might only, like I said, you might only have like $1 million in the bank when you, once you get old, or once you are like, of that age to kind of, you're of an age to kind of get ready to pass down things to your children. So just think about that. Another thing I was watching, like Boyce Watkins was saying, you could be making $100,000, $200,000, but if you in debt, you worth less than a 5-year-old. So think about that too. It's like, if you building all this, you making all this money, but you're not spending your money properly, you worth less to somebody who got the money. So think about that too. It's something to think about. But I just wanted to, give y'all some knowledge, let y'all think. I mean, let me know what y'all think. If you think option C is a better option, explain why. Give me some numbers why. Don't just say C is better because over time you'll make more than $2 million. Because like I said, if you invest your $2 million, you're going to make way more than what you would be from getting $4,000 a week. So let me know what y'all think. But that was just my what they call synopsis on it. And so I thought that was the best idea. That's the best way to move the money, invest the money, and that would be the best option as far as if somebody gave me those 3 choices. That would be my choice. You let me know if y'all disagree, if y'all agree. Throw some other ideas out there, some other alternatives. I'm all open for it. I'm always happy to learn some more ways to build wealth and, become great. So, y'all be great also. I'm rooting for y'all. And sue me, man. Sue me. I'm rooting for everybody's black, As always, man, we for the people, we for the culture. We here to support y'all. Y'all be easy.